Alright, as I wrap up my Cyberpunk 2077 GPU marathon, this is my last GPU to test out this game. This is the AMD RX 5500 XT, my top tier AMD card. I know that's not the highest one, there's plenty after that, but this is all I got. So I'm going to test this game on both 720p and 1080p resolution. But before I begin with that, please do consider subscribing to my channel, as I have the best accurate FPS benchmarks on the latest games. Alright, so let's begin. This is the most recent patch 106. And I'm going to start off with lowest preset on 1080p resolution. Once again, I'm using the 8700K running at 5 GHz, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, running at 3600 MHz. This RX 5500 XT 8 GB version is slightly overclocked by 80 MHz on the core and 100 MHz on the memory clock, and running stable with no issues and no additional voltage necessary. Now, this is the performance of this card is going to be slightly above the RX 580 8 GB card that I just did a test prior to this one. So you could see that, you could really take a look back there, and yeah, we're averaging, looks like high 60s, 70, low 70s or so average on 1080p lowest preset. Not bad at all. Of course, it has the latest updates, latest driver here. And yeah, the performance gain is, difference is very marginal compared to a 580. And I'm sure you guys know that when this card came out a while back, a year or so back, that there was really no point of getting this card, as it performs very similar to the RX 580. So if you had a choice between this and a 580, I would go for 580 because it's a lot cheaper. This card still costs quite a bit, especially the 8 GB version. Alright, let's jump into the medium settings, see what we got here. Okay. Now we drop to low 50s, upper 40s. Again, very similar performance as the 580. As a matter of fact, yeah, very almost identical, really here. Now, one of the reasons is the 580 I was using, the Red Devil version, is one of the best ones and requires an 8-pin and a 6-pin. Versus this one is the more of the lower end version, perhaps only requires an 8-pin power connection. So maybe a better version of the 5500 XT could perform slightly better, maybe an extra 1 or 2 FPS, I don't know. But overall, you see it here, it's very similar. Not bad card at all, and the whole point of this card was, it's similar performance but less power hungry. So we're here on the medium, we're on a high preset now with motion blur off. Okay, still looking good, upper 30s on average. Running very smooth. Very detailed. Game looks really good on 1080p, high settings and above. Yeah, we'll just take a ride around. Okay, let's jump into the final ultra settings here. Motion blur off. Alright, so we're still in the 30s, looks like here. So yeah, you could play this game on ultra 1080p. You're going to be around low 30s, maybe mid 30s. Still smooth, no stuttering. So yeah, I would recommend ultra on this for sure, if you want to enjoy those beautiful visuals.
Hola.
Yeah, that looks pretty clear. Look at that. The detail on the hair. That looks really nice. The clothes looks pretty good too. Alright.
I'm just my sister.
Okay, let's do 720p now. Lowest preset. Okay, very nice. All right. Okay, so there it is. Now I see the difference here. On the lowest preset, 720p, we are above 100, whereas the 580 was in the 90s. So yeah, there is an advantage of having this newer architecture, I guess. So finally we're in the hundreds here on average. That's good. Let's take a look what we're at medium here. Okay, that we drop now to the 80s. Now we'll jump to the medium high settings. Let's see. Motion blur off. Be interesting if we hit the 60 FPS on ultra here.
Are you wrong in the head or what?
You live around here?
No, I'm just fine. Thanks.
what, huh? Did Mom send you? Run! Run! We can't escape!
Well, as you can see, this card could definitely handle this game on 1080p and 720p, no problem. Okay, let's wrap it up with the Ultra. Let's see if I could do 60 FPS on that. Ultra, here it is, with the motion blur off. Not quite. Very close though.
When's the next delivery?
2 days.
What are these garbage shrimp?
What do you expect? This is Kabuki, not North Oak.
What do you know about Kabuki?
Come on, I don't need this. Just toss in an anti-whiff tablet for this smell.
50% off.
Alright, so here you have it. So I would conclude that
And they call nomads thieves.
with this card,
Fine.
you could play both on 1080p and 720p on ultra settings and enjoy the game very well.
Out.
And that's it for my AMD testings. And I'll see you guys in another video. Goodbye.